Manchester United beat Manchester City on their way to returning to being a Premier League contender after a long time. United started pressing quite high, although after the first few minutes they formed a line of 4 with Bruno, Eriksen, Martial and Rashford, which prevented City from being able to build up comfortably. If Rodri or Bernardo Silva received the ball, they were always under pressure and with their backs to goal, which prevented City from making any progress. The same happened when the ball came to the wing, as in this play with Mahrez. So City had to look for solutions. The first was for Bernardo Silva to go down to find the ball between centre backs and generate superiority. Thanks to Bernardo's movement, Walker was higher up the pitch, receiving the ball with space to progress. Another solution was Haaland, who was one of the closest players to Ederson to try to get the ball into the opposition half. Ten Hag had planned for Haaland's movement, and from the start of the game Varane was seen marking all over the field so that they couldn't pass the ball to Erling. Cancelo, unlike Walker, gave width to the team, and the movements made by Haaland and Varane created a space as the gap between Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka was too big. The first to try to take advantage of it was Foden and also Cancelo carrying the ball. But the one who best understands these situations in Guardiola's team is De Bruyne, so he began to attack the spaces by getting behind the centre backs, as will be the case of the goal that we will see later. When Manchester United recovered in the first half, they found the spaces, but they weren't able to execute the counter-attacks well, despite the good passes of Bruno Fernandes and the movements of Martial. Precisely, Martial was replaced at half-time for Antony, leaving Antony at the start of the second half as a centre forward. That move didn't work, and Manchester City's best minutes of the match followed thanks to Guardiola's small tactical adjustments. Walker started to play as another midfielder in a role so common in City's right back. In addition, both Cancelo and Mahrez began to have more mobility, appearing all over the field, and the entry of Jack Grealish for Phil Foden was key to score the first goal of the game. This is the play. De Bruyne attacks the space, the United defense is guarding Haaland, leaves Bernardo Silva free, and Grealish heads for the first goal. With the score at 1-0, Ten Hag decided to give Alejandro Garnacho a chance, and the United pieces fell back into place in a logical manner. Antony on the right, Garnacho on the left, Bruno as attacking midfielder and Rashford as a striker. The offensive transitions began to arrive. Garnacho warned Manchester City with this play, and the equalizer will come after a controversial play in which Rashford is clearly offside, but the player who finishes is Bruno. It seems clear that Akanji, who slows down, is conditioned by Bruno's position to be offside. 3 minutes later, ball to Garnacho, who runs down the left flank. 2 United players entered the box with only one to defend, and Marcus Rashford scored the goal. Great tactical war in Manchester.